Shalom, family. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Look, y'all. Shalom, shalom. Woo! Charlie Kirk didn't make it, y'all. He didn't make it. See, it don't pay to talk crap about us. It will always catch up to you in the end. See, you don't make enemies out of us. This reminds me of George Wallace. I actually got footage of the man they arrested. Now, if you didn't hear, he was at the University of Utah Valley. He was doing one of his campus speeches. You know how he debates the students. He was doing that. And I actually saw the whole footage. Shots rang out, and you could see he reacted to the shot. You could see it. I can't show that. And the students just start scrambling and running all over the place. Well, Charlie was shot in the neck. And then I heard this about an hour ago. And then maybe like 5 minutes before I was going to go live, they pronounced him unalive. So he didn't make it, y'all. I said this is like a reminiscent of George Wallace. You remember? And yes, the man is older, but he is of Charlie Kirk's persuasion. See, you think we are the problem? No, no. It's see, you so busy talking crap about us. It's your own people. It's your own people. That's the problem. But because you target us so much, you're willing to overlook them and act like that's not the problem when it is. You know, that's why I had to bring out to y'all last week the biggest crimes in America are in red states where Donald Trump's people live. You know, that's where the most crimes and the most violent crimes come out of in America. And what is Utah? Utah is a red state, y'all. It's a red state. I know what the hell I'm talking about. So we're going to listen to the news, and there is some reaction that I got, but see, it don't pay to run around talking crap about us. If you remember about 2 months ago when they dug up the Black Lives Matter out of the street up there in Washington, D.C., he went live and was gloating about it. Oh, they're taking that out. Oh, yeah. He was just gloating over that. And remember, he was the one that said if he got on the plane and find out that the pilot is black, they're probably not qualified and all that crap. Well, a black pilot is the least of your worries. That's the least of your worries. You should have been worried about your own people. See, the red states, the biggest problem is gun violence, y'all, because the laws in red state, the gun laws, are very relaxed. Okay, they're very relaxed. So because it's easier to get a gun in the red states, the gun violence is high there. But see, Donald Trump, he ain't going to focus on a place like Utah. He's going to go to Chicago. Then he's going to go to New York. And then he's going to do DC and Maryland. No, those are not the places you should be going to. You should be going to the states where MAGA lives, because that's where it's violent. But see, these folks don't ever want to, recognize their own violence. LVZ, you want to come on the panel? Are you working? All right. Thank you, Monica Gregory, for the super sticker. And the one LVZ, he went from running a pack to being a pack. I'm live on No Buck Dancing, sis. Shouldn't have been worried about Black Pilot. Yeah, you damn right about that, brother. Okay, well, you know what? We can hook up another time. All right, thank you for being here, though. So, y'all, he had one of these events where and in his grown ass self. Why are you debating a bunch of students? These are, it's nothing against students, but they don't have no experience in life. And they have not experienced a lot of things that an adult has been through. If he was going to be about something, he should have debated people more his age. But y'all never forget another thing. Candace Owens used to be at these universities with Charlie Kirk. She used to be there and agreeing with everything he said about Black folk. She would be right there like a raccoon, agreeing with it all. Don't ever forget that. See, Candace used to hang around with Charlie Kirk, and she used to run around on these college campuses. Just not even like a year and a half ago, she was still out here running around on these college campuses debating students. Now, how easy is that? I can go on college campuses and debate a bunch of students. Who the hell can't do that? Yeah, I can outfox them. I've lived more life. Who the hell can't do that? Yeah, and yeah, right, Lala. She was even out there when she was pregnant. Boy, the nerve. For real. All right, y'all, let me see if I can chime in on this NBC News that's going on right now. Let's see here.
Yeah, it's terrifying. I'm sorry you guys had to go through that today when you just went to go, hear somebody speak. When the gunshot rang out, they're saying it was from 200 yards away, which is pretty far away in a different building. For people that aren't familiar from where this happened, the place where they're saying the shot came from, is that somebody where they could have sort of been hidden, maybe incognito, or just sort of covered and then gotten a shot off? Because I asked you this because they're still looking for the suspect. Initially, they thought they had a suspect, but now they're still looking for a suspect.
So there's like a causeway, like a walkway from building to building, and there was a lot of people up top. And that would be where somebody probably could have been. It sounded in that area. And I don't see how anyone in the crowd, everyone was shoulder to shoulder. I don't see how anyone would get away in a group like that if it was in the crowd. So to me, it sounded about 60 feet away. I instantly looked to where I thought it was, and it was, I would say, about 60 feet in about the more top area, but middle of the crowd. And I didn't think it came from up top, but with knowing that he hasn't been caught yet, he had to have been hiding.
We're living in some sort of very violent times, whether it be mass shootings or these political assassinations and assassination attempts. Did you guys know what you were witnessing when it happened, or was it all just so strange?
Yeah, I think we knew instantly because everyone around us kind of stopped, looked at each other, wondered if it was real, and then dropped to the ground. And we kind of talked about it on our way there, that he's super brave to not have like a bulletproof glass in front of him, and not in Utah. No way. Utah's respectful. Like, that would never happen.
So you even acknowledge that. That's incredible that you guys acknowledge that, because you thought, hey, what can happen, the times that we're living in, and he's out there speaking to these people, and then this happens. Yes.
We didn't think that, not in a million years, it would happen, let alone in Utah. Yeah. It's very sad. It's angering. We've got to come together and love each other and listen to each other. Like Charlie, he never yelled at anyone in anger or made them try and believe his opinions and his facts. He challenges people to listen and learn. That's what we need to do.
Haley and Taylor, we thank you for talking to us. And again, I'm sorry you had to witness that today.
Yeah, well, there you go. Now, this girl sound like a white supremacist, right? She's sitting up here trying to say, oh, we just got to come together. No, we don't. Over Charlie Kirk? No, nobody's coming together over him. And if they do, it's going to be nothing but a bunch of white people. So, and I'm sure when he gets funeralized, it ain't going to be nothing but white folks there. But, Candace Owens might show up. She used to run around debating with them. She may actually show up, but see, it don't pay to turn on us. Y'all, I kid you not. I wrote a song, and I'm going to play this song for you. I wrote this song. Let me see if I can find it. I wrote a song a few days ago, and it was on the very message that I'm talking to you about. Now, I don't claim to have anything special going on, but the Most High sometimes will give us a message, and it's up to us to get that message out. And I'm going to play this song for you. I literally just wrote this song and did the music on it about 2 days ago. And I just didn't put it out. Hold on, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to share. I kid you not. This song is called My Father Will Deal with All My Enemies. And I just wrote this about 2 days ago, just jotting things down. That's usually how I do it, y'all. Sometimes I'll write music in a broken way. Like I'll write some lyrics and then push it aside. And a few days later, I'll go back to it and I might finish it, or I might just write a little more and then push it aside. It's rare for me to just in one sitting write a whole song. Now, I know some people can do that. Me, I just got to get my thoughts together along the way when I do these things. So it's not unusual for me to even start lyrics this month, but I won't finish them up until a month or two later. But I wrote this, and then 2 days ago, I finished it, and then I was able to work on the music for it. Yes, it's dark. It's a dark song, but the point of the matter is it's scripture, and it tells you how our Father will fight for us. He's going to fight anybody that is an enemy to our people. Okay, isn't that what Charlie Kirk was? So let's get to it.
My Father will deal with all my enemies. Yeah. Romans 12:19, vengeance ain't on me. Table set it in the present, Psalm 23. Facts. Touch not his anointed, that's his decree. Deuteronomy 31, verse 6 in my chest. He go with me, never fail, he gon' handle rest. While they scheming in the dark, trying to see me fall. Isaiah 54:17, no weapon at all. They plot, they plan, but it's void when it lands. Y'all stretch his hand, make the wicked understand. I don't clap back, nah, I just pray and stand. Cause the battle ain't mine, it's the Lord's command. My Father will deal with all my enemies. Yeah. Romans 12:19, vengeance ain't on me. Table set it in the present, Psalm 23. Facts. Touch not his anointed, that's his decree. Psalm 35, plead my cause, take the fight. Let them chase their own snares in the dead of the night. When they dig their own pit, best believe they gon' fall. Proverbs 26:27, justice for all. I walk calm in the storm, got the shield and the sword. Ephesians 6:17, armor of the Lord. Enemies press close, but they scatter and flee. When he rise like a lion out of Zion for me.
Exodus 14:14.
Stay still, no stress. Yeah, gon' fight, he gon' clean up the mess. He's my fortress, my rock. Every tongue that rise up, he gon' make it stop. I don't need revenge. I don't need rage. My Father already wrote the last page. plot, every scheme, every enemy. He gon' deal with it. Believe that. Elegies.
Y'all, let me tell you something. Had no idea that Charlie Kirk was going to fall 2 days after I put this out. And the Most High is real. You know, for me, writing music is whatever hits my spirit at that time. You know, if it hits my spirit and I'm thinking about something, then that's the time for me to, put my thoughts and my words together. And my spirit just hit me on dealing with our enemies. And then I did that other song, which is kind of a dark rap on judgment, and here I put those two songs, this one now, out in the same week, and then look at what happened. Mm. Maybe I need to sit down and craft more of these songs. Maybe more of them will fall. Maybe more will fall. So I will upload this one when we're done. Wow. The Most High is something else. I guess when you think he's not paying attention and he's not listening, he actually is. And I am one that can tell you for a fact there have been many ups and downs in my life, just like many of you. And I'm telling you, when I pray to the Heavenly Father, he has not let me down yet. He has not let me down yet. And sometimes I'll even say, just give me a sign, just give me a sign. And I'll be darned, in the next day, 2 days, or even a week, he'll show me something. And I know he was listening to me. I know he was. I know he was. I could feel it. And I remember one day about a year ago, I wasn't feeling well. And I prayed and I said, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't feel too well. I feel kind of off today. And I prayed. Y'all, by the time I got to the end of my prayer, just interacting with the Most High, do you know I was feeling better already? And I was like, I just got finished praying. And it was not even a minute after I was done, I felt better. I literally felt better. And come on, y'all. I know y'all got similar testimonies. I know you do. You know, believe me, I am no special than the next guy. I'm not. I know as a servant, I sure could do some more work on myself and be a better servant to the Most High. But I know he listens to me because I can feel it. And let me tell you something. He will answer your prayers as long as you are doing the best that you can with your life, because under our circumstances, we can't do everything to a T. All we can do is ask him to cleanse us and to help us walk on the straight and narrow. That's all we can do. But I am a living testimony of many of my prayers being answered. And that's why, just the thought of walking away, because I've seen some people come in the truth and leave. I couldn't picture myself leaving. I couldn't picture myself leaving at all because I know how powerful it has been being in this truth and knowing how to pray to my Father and get the results I'm looking for. And even if he don't give me the results all the time, I always feel more comforted after praying to him. I just feel more like, okay, even if I don't get my way on this one, I feel that you at least heard me out and I feel better just for that alone. you know? So we're going to get to some more about Charlie Kirk because in my videos, some of them I stitched together when the news was breaking. So some of these people don't even talk about, his demise. But there is one of the footage where they're arresting a man, and I'm going to stop it at that point so y'all can get a really good look at this man that they said is the suspect. Okay. So let's get to it. Here we go. Okay. So y'all, yes, Dorothy Temple, he is the comforter. He is. And like I said, I will never forget that day when I was praying, y'all. I had a fever. I even had the chills and everything. And I was like, look, I don't know what's going on, but I just need to pray at this moment. I need some intervention. I need some help with my health right now. By the time I got finished at the end of that prayer, the fever was gone and I no longer had the chills. And that's how fast it happened. And I was like, well, he sure didn't leave me out here to suffer. So I'm grateful for that. All right, let's get started, y'all. Can everybody see the screen? Please give me a 1. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you. All right, y'all.
Charlie Kirk was just shot at an appearance at Utah Valley University about a half hour ago. There have been no updates on his status, but there is video evidence that he was actually struck by a bullet and the crowd dispersed.
ABC News has confirmed conservative activist and podcaster Charlie Kirk has been shot during an event at Utah Valley University. The founder of Turning Point USA, a conservative student organization, is known for his outspoken views on politics, culture, religion, often taking his messages to colleges and universities, sparking sometimes pretty heated debates on campus. Let's get right to our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky. Aaron, what do you know?
Two law enforcement sources confirmed to ABC News, Kira, that Charlie Kirk indeed was shot as he was speaking at an outdoor event at Utah Valley University. You're right, his presence there at the university had divided the campus, according to an article in the school paper, where there were people on both sides debating whether he should even be allowed to bring his message, often loyal to the agenda of President Trump, to campus. But he was speaking at this outdoor event in a courtyard. We've seen some video of that event. A shot rings out. The entire crowd goes scattering. The condition of Charlie Kirk is not immediately clear, but we've seen a tweet from Vice President J.D. Vance saying that he is praying for Charlie Kirk, who he calls a genuinely good guy. And we have also seen a recent tweet from the governor.
See, look at who Donald Trump praises. We know Charlie Kirk a good guy. See, this is why you always got to pay attention. I know some people, I don't look at politics, and you really should. I'm not saying you should spend your whole day doing it, but you should at least know what's going on because, unfortunately, politics does impact everybody's life. And if you got the kind of president that thinks somebody like Charlie Kirk is a good guy, then you'll understand why he's going just to blue states with the National Guard and targeting our people, because it goes right with the agenda. We know Donald Trump don't like us. I don't care what Donald Trump gets in front of the camera and say, that man don't like us. He never have. But look at who's he's saying is a good guy. Okay, look at who he's saying is a good guy. That should say it all right there.
Spencer Cox of Utah saying that he's being briefed by law enforcement following the violence directed at Charlie Kirk during his visit to Utah Valley University. The governor's message goes on to say, we will continue to share updates. Those responsible, the governor goes on to say, will be held fully accountable. Violence has no place in our public. So law enforcement officials, now the governor of Utah confirming, Kira, Charlie Kirk shot at an outdoor event as he was speaking at Utah Valley University.
I just started getting word just a couple of moments ago that Charlie Kirk has been shot. We have very few details so far coming in on this. We're dependent on witnesses at Utah Valley University, and he was speaking in front of a crowd. And in that moment, and correct me if I'm wrong, he was speaking about obviously trans issues in the country today, when a shot or shots rang out. And we can now confirm via Jason Chaffetz, who was at the event at Utah Valley University, that shots rang out as Charlie was talking about transgender mass shootings. Per Jason Chaffetz, a witness there, says he can't say that he saw blood, but he saw him get, he can't say that also that he saw him get shot, but he did hear the gunshot ring out, and he was watching Charlie, and then he fell back and to the left.
That's right, you ain't signing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the man that they said did it. You can see it's an older white man, He was arrested right there up at the campus, and they said he was the one that did it. So it was, he spoke about Black people and Black men in particular being violent, but it was none of them. It was a white man. It was a white man that did it. Not the violent Black men that he claims. No, not them. No. So let's get to it. This is who they arrested, said he did it.
We have a witness now who's joining us by phone. His name is Justin Hickens. He apparently was at the scene of the shooting. Justin, what did you see? What did you hear?
I was about 20 yards away on Charlie's left. I had gotten there probably just a few minutes before noon. There was thousands of people there. Unfortunately, there was no metal detectors. There was security by Charlie, but anybody could have shown up with whatever, unfortunately. And I happened to kind of maneuver my way down close on the side. And the first interaction probably took about 10 minutes. It was a religious-related exchange. And then there was someone who stepped up, ironically, coincidentally, who asked a question about mass shootings. And about 60 to 90 seconds in, we heard a big loud shot. I saw a bunch of blood come out of Charlie. I saw his body kind of kick back and go limp, and everybody dropped to the ground. And luckily, there were no other bullets sprayed into the crowd. Was really able to go anywhere. It was just like a big, open pavilion, amphitheater, outdoor venue.
He just got shot! Holy shit! Holy shit! You guys okay? Okay, love you. Be safe. Be safe.
Okay, I just wanted to show you how everybody scattered after the shots rang out. So yes, no, Charlie Kirk did not make it. They said he was gone within minutes after, he got pew-pewed. He was gone. So by the time the ambulance came and took him to the hospital, he was already gone. He was already gone. They said it had to be within a few minutes. That was it. So I guess, they weren't the same ones that were trying to get Donald Trump, because those guys, they can't shoot for nothing. This one, he could shoot, But the ones gunning for Donald Trump, they couldn't shoot for crap. Yeah, yes, he was. you know and yeah, a lot of these newscasters, they don't even mention the fact of all the racist debates he had on these campus. They were, oh well, he used to talk about conservatism and social issues. No, they don't want to say what he used to talk about. We know that. And you notice they're not going into detail because in many instances they agree with Charlie Kirk. They do. And see, this country, it just goes to show you how racist America is. When somebody like Charlie Kirk rise up, they don't do nothing about it. And hell, look at how long the Klan has been around. They'll bust up a street gang, but they won't touch the Klan. That's why you can't expect justice from the most unjust people on the face of the earth. You just can't. You can't. If this country was about something, they would even let somebody like Charlie Kirk exist out here. He would be so suppressed that he would never make a difference or any impact. But the fact of the matter is, he has gone to numerous colleges and universities and they let him in. They let him in. And he sits there talking black people this and black people that and then black people violence and 13% of the population, 51% of the crime. He was sitting there doing stuff like that. And they don't stop him. He'll be invited to the next campus and the next one and the next one. If somebody didn't take him out, they would still be booking him at all of these different colleges and universities because this country ain't about nothing. This country ain't about nothing. And this is what they let go on. And look at how Donald Trump feels. Okay, he's upset over DEI, but he ain't upset about what Charlie Kirk was going around doing. Okay, just like he's upset with taking stuff, he's obsessed with taking stuff out of the Black Smithsonian. Okay, he's obsessed with that. But he won't do anything about all of the anti-Black racism that's going on in the country. So I guess DEI just works one way for Donald Trump, and that's just take away and try to diminish Black people and their achievements. Okay, if he was about something, he would never have let somebody like Elon Musk up at the White House. But he did. That's why I said, somebody was saying, and this was during his first term, oh, Donald Trump's going to give us reparation. Who was that? Afro Synergy. He was on his video talking about Donald Trump is going to give us reparations. When? You mean the same man that took out a full-page ad on the Central Park 5 when DNA evidence proved they were innocent? He still wanted them to get the death penalty? Even after DNA exonerated them, that Donald Trump is going to give you reparations? Really? Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Some of y'all will believe anything. Ain't that something? All right. PM, thank you so much for the super chat. We don't celebrate death, but we celebrate the Most High's justice and timing. Live by hatred, died by hatred. Yeah, lived by hatred, died by hatred. Yeah, you're right about that. Absolutely. Let's keep the word and let the Lord, yeah, let him do his work. That's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, and I'm glad you said this, PM, there are people, if the Most High came back today and start going after our enemies, there's some people that probably would go out there and dive in front of the enemy trying to save them. I kid you not, y'all. There are people that would try to do it instead of stepping aside and letting judgment work. Thank you. Thank you for everything, as always, Lisa B1 and Shalom. Thank you. Thank you for your support for my channel, but you ain't never lie in that post. My Hustle on Wheels, thank you for the super sticker. Dre123, he spent every day demonizing Black people, but met his end at the hands of a Caucasian man in a state that's 80% Caucasian. Yes, he did. Yes, he did, Dre. Yes, he did. Thank you for your support for my channel. But usually that's what happens. You know, George Wallace is another one. He went everywhere. Oh, segregation today, and all that crap, right? And guess who got him? Another Caucasian man. It never fails. Never fails. And Charlie Kirk, he didn't get out, he didn't get taken out by the black men that he used to trash. Those were not the ones that took him out. It was actually somebody that looked like him. You know why? Because they were talking in the news. If you heard what they were saying, there were no metal detectors, there were no security. Yeah, because y'all think you're safe around your own people. That's why there were no metal detectors, there were no security. Everybody was all out in the wide open when this happened because y'all swear up and down you're safe around each other. That's what y'all believe. That's why that wasn't there. I bet you if one of our former inmates went around talking about exonerations, y'all would have had every cop in the city there guarding everything, the National Guard. See, y'all do that mess for us, but you won't get that out on your people. And they had it that way because they figure most of the people there would be white, and they didn't need to do all that because y'all got that mindset. It's just like out here in the schools. It's the public schools in the black community that got the metal detectors. But the schools in the white community where the shootings always happen, they didn't have nothing. It started changing over the years, but for a long time, I was like, there's no shootings that go on in the schools in our community, but that's where they had the security. That's where they got a cop in the school. That's where they got it. No, you should have that in your schools. You got them in the wrong schools. You need to have them cops over there in your schools, over there in that white neighborhood. What you got them over here for? But that's how you are. That's how y'all are. You want to believe it's always other people and not the people in your community. And it's always the people in your community. For real. But you see how they scattered. That's what I was trying to get to, so you can see the reaction after he was pew-pewed.
Apparently, there's been a shooting. I don't know who's been shot.
Charlie Kirk has just been shot at a campus event in Utah. I'm not going to show you the video. I have seen the video. Charlie Kirk is speaking. He stops speaking. There's the sound of a gunshot, and it appears that he was hit in the torso. Some early reports are saying that he was hit in the neck. To me, it looked like he was hit in this general area. The event has been evacuated. The shooter has been apprehended. Charlie Kirk's condition is currently unknown. I will let you know when we have more details.
Okay, well, I don't know how she saw where the bullet was hit because that footage was kind of far away. But you know how these folks are. They think they know it all. That footage was so far away, you don't know where that bullet hit. I don't think it did him in torso. You don't know that. You can't even see it on the video. But that's what happens when you are raised to believe you just know it all and you're never right. You're never wrong about anything. You're always right. There's no way you could look at that footage and tell exactly where he was hit, but you do see him reacting. And they said he was hit in the neck. That's what all the reports are saying. But yeah, this woman is full of crap. I don't know where he looked like he was hitting the torso. Yeah, I'm looking at the same footage. It was not close up enough to know where he was hit. So typical. For real. Quantum Soltis, thank you so much for the super chat. Them folks need to stop the shenanigans, always trying to distract us from the Most High. I look at all this as a comedy show. The Most High is calling out their culture for what it is. Yes, that's where the violence is, that they keep trying to put on us. Beverly Herron, thank you so much for the super sticker and your support for my channel. Oh yeah, it always comes back on them, y'all. Don't ever think these folks that go around and your clan members and all them they're having a great life. They're not. Those people are miserable. Their lives are miserable. They ain't having no great life anywhere. Trust me, they're not. Mhm. So y'all, I all I got to say is keep praying because the prayers are working. Keep praying. The prayers are working. The Most High will always listen to his children. Always. Always. Mhm. Well, now he's where the hawk is. The Most High is plucking these races out all over the place. He took the hawk about what, a month ago? And this month he took Charlie Kirk. He's plucking their asses the hell up on out of here, isn't he? Mm-mm-mm. No, don't ever do that. And you know what else? Something I always do whenever I have a sleepless night, that's what I do. I just lay in my bed and I just talk to the Most High. You can talk and you can meditate and spend that time connecting to him. And then there, I always end up dozing off eventually. But that's what I do. I just seize that moment instead of laying there getting frustrated that I can't sleep. I talk to him. That's really the best thing to trust me. That'll put you to sleep. You're going to eventually go to sleep. Mhm. Yeah. So, y'all, this is a critical time that we're going through. This is very critical. And just know we're getting protected. Don't ever believe we're not. We are. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. I know I did this at the last minute, and I'm glad you were able to come in and get the 411 on what's going on. And y'all, look, I just want you to know, another thing I do, I pray for all of us. I think we have gone through so much. One thing I never want to forget is all of you when I pray, and I never do. When I always incorporate my subscribers and people out here in all four corners of the world that love and pray to our Heavenly Father. I pray for their protection every single day because I don't believe my prayers should all be selfish. And I try my best not to make all of them selfish. You know what I mean? So, y'all, again, the Most High will keep those angels around and you will always be safe. He won't let you down. Shalom, family.